Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Amidst the fierce competition in AI computing power and satellite internet, a piece of copper foil, once monopolized by Japanese giants, is triggering a multi-billion-dollar replacement storm. This copper foil, called HVLP, boasts a surface as smooth as a mirror, roughness is only 1/50th that of a human hair, and can reduce 5G signal loss by 40%. However, due to its nanoscale manufacturing process, it has been held hostage by Japanese companies for a decade. Now, 3 Chinese companies have broken through 90% of the Japanese and Korean monopoly through mergers and acquisitions, crushing rivals with advanced technology. They have not only torn apart the 90% monopoly held by Japan and South Korea, but have also penetrated top supply chains like Nvidia's GB200 and TSMC's CoWoS. Monthly exports have soared from zero to hundreds of tons. Chinese copper foil is gradually reclaiming the key to high-end manufacturing. The invisible hills on the copper foil surface were once a fatal shackle that held China's high-end electronics industry back. Conventional copper foil appears as undulating, nodular grains under an electron microscope, while HVLP, ultra-low-profile copper foil, is as smooth as a plane, with a roughness of Rz less than or equal to 1.5 microns. This extreme flatness reduces signal transmission distance by 40%, making it the blood vessel material for 5G base stations, AI servers, and low-orbit satellites. Japan's Mitsui Metals and Nippon Mining and Company dominate this golden market. Mitsui holds a monopoly on 35% of the global HVLP market share, and its 5th-generation product processing fee is as high as 250,000 yuan per ton, comparable to the price of silver. The delivery cycle for the core nano cathode roller is as long as 18 months. Leading overseas manufacturers achieve a yield rate exceeding 70%, and domestic manufacturers consider breaking 50% a milestone. In the Tongguan Copper Foil Laboratory, R&D personnel launched the first salvo in their counterattack with a Cutting Mountains and Filling Valleys campaign. In 2018, they launched a full industry chain collaboration plus industry university research initiative, collaborating with upstream and downstream partners. After experimenting with hundreds of formulas, they developed an innovative additive process, ultimately completely removing the nodular particles from the copper foil surface. In 2022, HVLP 1st-generation copper foil achieved mass production, boasting electrical performance and heat resistance comparable to international products, filling a domestic gap. The race for technological iteration never ceases. When Mitsui introduced HVLP2 copper foil with a roughness Rz less than or equal to 1.8 micrometers, the Tongguan team immediately responded by modifying the anti-slip device on the conductive roller and optimizing the electroplating solution flow rate control, ultimately reducing the roughness of the 2nd-generation product by a further 20%. In August of this year, this China Mirror copper was shipped and exported for the first time, with monthly sales exceeding 100 tons, directly supplying Nvidia supply chain companies such as Tyco Electronics. Defu Technology has chosen a shortcut of trading capital for time. After acquiring Luxembourg copper foil company Artecno in 2024, it secured core patents for cathode roller surface treatment, boosting its yield rate from 45% to 65%. The company's 3rd-generation HVLP copper foil has been mass-produced in Nvidia's GB200 servers, with each unit using 15 square meters, a 50% increase over the previous generation, H100. Longyang Electronics is now at the forefront of the market. The company has introduced magnetron sputtering technology into copper foil production, achieving the world's only HVLP5+ mass production capability, with an extreme roughness of 0.18 microns. The company's 85% yield rate even surpasses that of Japanese companies, and its products have passed TSMC's CoWoS advanced packaging certification, with processing fees soaring to 70,000 yuan per ton. The surge in demand has accelerated the opening of the replacement window. The copper foil cost of a single NVIDIA GB300 server is 300,000 yuan, and global AI servers require over 30,000 tons of HVLP copper foil annually. In the low-orbit satellite sector, Starlink 2 uses HVLP to reduce weight by 30%, and China Galaxy Aerospace's first order for 600 satellites has resulted in an additional 8,000 tons. Policy dividends have also provided a boost. The 2024 New Materials Industry Development Guide lists HVLP as the top of 35 strategic materials, with equipment investment eligible for a 30% income tax credit. The second phase of the National Development and Reform Commission, NDC, invested in Tongguan copper foil, and Anhui, Shandong, and other provinces offered supporting tax incentives, driving production capacity from the laboratory to the factory floor. Undercurrent risks remain a concern. Japan may restrict the export of nanocathode rollers, while domestic equipment manufacturer Dongwei Technology already holds an 80% share of the domestic HVLP electroplating equipment market. Sanfu Shinka's additive formula reduces roughness to 0.25 micrometers, just 0.05 micrometers behind Mitsui's latest generation. Baoming Technology is applying its glass substrate coating technology to the copper foil market. Its fifth-generation HVLP product has a roughness of 0.18 micrometers and has been selected for testing by Apple and NVIDIA. Nord Company Limited is switching its lithium battery production line to HVLP production, achieving a 15% cost reduction compared to dedicated lines. Once Ehao New Materials' 10,000-ton high-precision copper foil project goes into production, capacity constraints will be completely broken. A copper foil production line is a microscopic nano-battlefield. The cathode roller rotates at a constant speed of 3 meters per minute, and copper ions in the electrolyte are uniformly deposited by nanoscale additives. Each roll of copper foil passes through 20 conductive rollers. Any scratch as small as 0.1 micron renders the entire roll scrapped, leaving no room for error correction. In TSMC's certification laboratory, Chinese copper foil undergoes the most rigorous testing. Thermal stress testing requires withstanding temperatures of 288 degrees Celsius for 10 seconds without blistering. Peel strength must exceed 1.2 newtons per millimeter, and the maximum number of pinhole defects must be 5 per square meter. In 3 consecutive rounds of testing, Tongguan's HVLP2 copper foil showed a signal loss deviation of only 0.3% from Mitsui's product. The sparks of a price war began to fly. When Mitsui lowered its fourth-generation HVLP processing fee to 180,000 yuan per ton, Shenzhen NAND Circuit urgently launched a copper foil replacement plan, testing 6 domestic suppliers. Defu Technology won its largest annual order with a bid of 120,000 yuan, and its net profit per ton was still 150% higher than that of traditional copper foil. At the port yard in Tongling, containers bearing the CPCA logo were being hoisted onto ocean-going vessels. This batch of HVLP2 copper foil is destined for Busan, South Korea, and will be used in Samsung's low-orbit satellite communication modules. 5 years ago, the same dock was filled with imported copper foil. Now the roles have completely reversed.